So this is the analysis of all games that I played yesterday. So first one, I get c5, the Sicilian, e4, c5, knight to f3, knight to c6. And let me just click the analysis. E4, c5, and this is the main line. I take, and I play g6. My opponent takes, and I take here. And my mistake here was playing f6. What was better was actually knight to f6, but I didn't like it because I thought I had to go back here to g8 and then this comes in. But apparently, I could have just put it on d5, and after this I could have just played f6. And after takes, we take with the bishop. And our even though we have a terrible pawn structure here, I have more development, so I'm slightly better here. So that's what I should have went for. Instead, I went for this, but they go the blunder of e5, allowing queen to a5 check, forking the pawns. And here they even allow a trade of queens, so I get the trade. Bishop to d2, and I go for knight to f6 here. My opponent goes for castles. I go bishop to g7. My opponent goes f4 here. Now I don't like this because apparently e4 would have been better to set up d5, but I took here, which is what happened. I took here, and basically my idea is that I undoubled my pawns, and I'm gonna get a big center after d5 castles, and then preparing e5 e4 pushes in the future. Here my opponent goes for bishop to f5, and now they're actually threatening this, so if I just place some move like bishop to b7, they already have a rook sack? No, they don't. Wait, no, never mind. Oh wait, no. Okay, never mind. Their idea is that after I play e5, I lose the knight. That was their idea. Then I'd have to play, I don't know, I'd have to play without. So, I go for bishop to d7 here. My opponent goes for knight to a4, trying to get some squares over here. And I go h6. And my opponent takes. But I'm giving up this pawn. I go bishop takes, and my opponent goes for knight to c5 instead of just taking the pawn and having a decent position here. I would have had to play on in this endgame where I have the bishop pair, but my opponent immediately blunders with knight to c5, and I punish it with bishop to d4, king to h1, and bishop takes. a3 is played, bishop to d6. They take the pawn, and I slowly converted this. And I guess the key moment here is when you're up material, you might as well use it. So I use my bishop here and my rook to tie down the rook to the king's defense, because if it ever left, I would have had checkmate. And then I slowly push my pawns. And there's a nice tactic of the rook sack. Takes, winning a pawn and simplifying, which is a win-win. And I go for d4. I mean, takes is playable, but d4 is better because I get the connected pass pawns. Bishop f1, I take, and I just promote slowly. And I chase down their queenside pawns because they had the queenside majority. And their king is stuck to this. to the pawn, they have to keep defending that. And then I won their pawns. And slowly converted here, and they resigned in this position. Now let's go for next game. I'm gonna profile real quick. I did play a blitz game today. Might as well show the analysis. First loss. It's a pretty short one. So in this one, I actually had a better position here. So they did sack, king takes, and then I retreated my king. Yeah, but I should have put my knight somewhere. I go here, and my mistake here was g3, queen to f3, and I would have had to find knight to f4. But instead I played this move rook to g1 and lost. Because this is coming. So, time for the next one. It's this one, right? Yeah, I lost this game by timeout. It was a nice game. Right player. I played the Sicilian. My opponent plays this weird c3 move. I go g6, the accelerated dragon here. I was low on time because of the time I spent on the opening. And then my opponent tried to attack but didn't have resources to attack. And here I apparently had knight takes h5 already. But I was too worried about this coming in. But apparently there was bishop g4. What is this engine on, bro? What if f3? Alright, bishop takes. Oh, makes sense. Yeah, wait. But in that line, after this, isn't there just takes, and then pinning? There's queen to b6 to counterattack, but what if they just move the knight here? Oh, I win the pawn. Yeah, but then after they move the rook, it's getting complicated here. King to h8. Can't they just take? So here we have equal material, but I win it back with this. This is a very complicated position here. Guess I do have compensation for giving back the piece. But anyway, I didn't take. Went there, took with the f pawn because staying with the h pawn would have been bad. I took the bishop pair, and I was low on time. So my opponent started trying to flag here. So definitely a note to play faster. So the next one is this one. So I flagged my opponent. This was a relatively... I forgot the opening is in this game. So this is the Owens defense. f4, knight to f3. This is the setup I go for in castles. And here g3 and h3. And their idea is that after g3, they could be looking to get some activity here on attacking the king. Knight to f6. I go for f5 immediately, breaking in the center. E takes f5 is the best move. So after takes. We do get to open the file, but there's no attacking yet. They can just simply castle. So my opponent goes for c5 instead, counter-attacking the center. Here I take, and I play e5, which is inaccurate because of the move knight to g4. Instead, my opponent goes for knight to d5. I go knight takes, and bishop takes, and d takes, which is actually a mistake according to the engine, not a little bit inaccurate because of this move. King to h1. Now they're in a better position because this knight. Knight to d7 already. They're in a winning position here. And I had to solve the problem by pin like this, but what do we have here? Rook to h5. It's a nasty move. Oh, not there. Rook here. What have I gone here? Oh yeah, they're gonna pin. So they were in a winning position, but they let me solve the problem of the pin here with this move. But there was a knight takes e5. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because after takes, there's this. Yeah, and they're just up a full rook. So apparently I was losing, but they took, and I just got to equalize. And now, actually, I'm in the better position because my bishop's aiming here. They have this very weak pawn here that I can quickly attack with knight to g5. So they go for f5, and the key moment here in these types of positions, I also face this decision a lot in the French, especially when my bishop is on d3. I go for en passant because I don't want to close off my bishop while I'm attacking. And I go for knight to g6 here, knight to g5 after they take with the rook. And they go here. I go for knight takes. My opponent sets up the battery. I close it off and immediately threaten the bishop. But here, I go here, which is a little inaccurate because rook takes and then they trade off all rooks. I go for bishop takes f1, and here I blunder the pawn. Well, here's, oh no, I don't blunder the pawn, never mind, because there's knight takes e7. Queen to f6 is played, and I attack the knight here, because if I would have saved this pawn, you know, I think this pawn is more valuable because I'm gonna take here, and I have a passed pawn. Opponent goes king to f7. I go for knight to f4, bishop to c6, and I move my king up because it's an endgame. And I use my knight here to win some pawns. Even though they do get two connected passed pawns, I win one of them, and I have not. And instead, I have two connected passed pawns, and slowly converted into the win, and they lost on time. Now the blitz game I played today was 28 moves because my opponent resigned. This one, e4, e5, knight to f3, when we get the Scotch game with knight to f6. This is known as the Schmidt variation, and I took and played this move, e5, and I was expecting queen to e7, which is what happened. Oh wait, no, knight to e4. Oh wait. The reason why I've been expecting queen to e7 is because this move is the most annoying one, and I prepared for it. After this I was gonna play queen to e2, and after knight to d5, I actually had another move in mind instead of c4 and allowing bishop to a6. I was actually gonna play h4. I was actually gonna play h4 here. So instead, my opponent goes for knight to e4, and I go bishop to c4 because this is a weird move. Queen to f3 is better, but my idea with bishop to c4 was to go queen to f3. My opponent goes d5, and I go for en passant, leaving the diagonal open. Knight takes d6, and a little inaccurate here, bishop to b3, because now it allows them to take this diagonal. And I don't like it, even though I'm in a better position. I go here, but they are better after this move. They have an advantage after I block here. Because now their bishop is nice here, cutting off my king, and I have to stay in the center. They go here trying to set up discoveries on the queen here with the knight and the rook. Maybe going knight to f5. I go for queen to f3, not only pressuring this pawn but also preventing this and putting pressure on that f7 pawn. So as three purposes, my opponent goes for queen to e4, and here I was thinking that I don't like this because my opponent has an initiative. So instead, if they want a queen trade, I'll go knight to d2 so that at least I get development. As you can see, all my pieces are developed now, and they're nice. I also put pressure on this pawn here. My opponent goes bishop to e7, and here I can take the pawn, but I didn't want to, simply because my king still, I mean, I don't have any development. Already they have knight to e4, which is nice according to the engine, and then I'd have to play rook to d1. Instead, I wanted to castle first to connect the rooks, and yes, they can still defend here, but then they'll be really passive, and already knight to e5 is winning because I just hit both pawns along with the bishop, so winning that pawn. And here they take their opportunity to double my pawn structure, but immediately miss that pawn was hanging. Knight to f5. I simply retreat my bishop. They take and play this move. Knight to d4. I push on f4. They take, and I take with the a pawn. But I forgot that c takes was actually better because I have this passed pawn here. Instead, I took with this pawn. They played f5. I went for rook to e1. Their opponent went for king to f7. But I missed this tactic. The rook sacrifice. Rook takes e7 check, and after king takes bishop to b4 check, they would have had to play king to e8. And in this endgame, I am winning because of my queen side majority, even though we both have double pawns. And also, my king can not only pressure here, but I can also go for a game plan of defending on the king side while I make a pass spawn on the queen side. This that tactic in the game, which but instead I went for bishop to c3. So if they play a random move like I don't know, wait no, not that one. If they play a random move like rook to b8, I would have taken that after takes. I would have won the bishop back, and I'm just gonna be two pawns because I'm gonna win that pawn next. Instead, my opponent goes for rook to a8, and the idea is that if I take, I completely lose the game to rook a1 check. So can't take. Instead, I go for king to d2 here. My opponent goes for bishop to c5, and I decide to give the pawn because I'm winning this pawn. And I don't want to be stuck with this weakness, so I'll give it. My opponent goes for rook d8 check. I go for king to e2 now, so now I defend my pawn. And I still have double attack. My opponent offers a trade of rooks, but after this, they simply resign because after takes, I'd have taken this pawn, had the two pawn advantage, and we would have played the end game, but my opponent resigns. So that is the analysis. Welcome. So today, this is gonna be our first ever rapid session. Now I play rapid on Lichess simply because it doesn't charge for a game review here. So I'm gonna play some rapid, and already I get the white pieces. So e4, e5, and I go for knight to f3, and my opponent goes for knight to f6, knight to c6, allowing the Scotch game, and they take, which is a little inaccurate because I can just take this. And now your knight's hanging. They go here. Pretty sure I already have the advantage here. Just need to convert it. I I could go for something like bishop to c4 here, but then maybe queen to e2 could cause some problems. I don't know. What should I do here? I mean, I could make the king go in the center. This is already a very weird game. I could try to kick the knight out first. Let's do that. Let's kick the knight out first, actually. That knight could be a problem. So let's kick the knight out first. I mean, we can trade, double their pawn structure. So far, we have a normal game here. I'll put my bishop here. I could pin. I can also just kick the knight out. Now we have to think here. If I kick the knight out, maybe they have queen to e7 as a resource. I can also castle, and after takes, maybe pin the knight. I can also try to counterattack on the pawn here, maybe. I can also pin the knight, but that would just give the bishop pair back. Let's think here. What the heck? My opponent just resigned. What the heck was that? Okay, that was weird. Anyway, what was it? Okay, black pieces and the Sicilian defense. Okay, we get the main line, and we get takes. And here I play the accelerated dragon with g6. My opponent goes for this move. What is it? I've never seen that. Okay, we'll just develop our bishop. So now we're actually threatening to take. They go here. I mean, there's a lot of moves. We're just gonna develop our knight. So weird moves. Don't know what that move does. Can we just take the bishop pair here? Queen to d3. I don't like that move because it just allows me to take the bishop pair. And they still have to defend this pawn. Okay, my knight is just doing a great job here. Liking my position already. Take. Can I take here? What are they gonna do? Play some discovery? If I take, are you gonna have any discoveries? That's my question. No, I don't think so. I mean, if you go here, even though I do get double pawns, I will just take them up in development. You're not. Oh, that. Ooh. Hmm. It's a nice one. Hmm. Maybe go here. Let's go here. Let's attack the queen. So if you go check, my king is gonna be in the center, so that's some compensation. And they win back the pawn. But if they do the what should I play here? At least that's one opening trap to now. I mean, they're gonna just oh my god, they could have taken you earlier. But anyway, they're gonna take. I go back. I mean, I am up in development. That's some compensation. Okay, let's attack the knight. They're threatening the pawn. So let's pressure the knight now. They can always go here though. Let's attack the queen. Because it cuts off the diagonal for them to castle too. Maybe their king can also be in the center. So I turn the tables around. We're now in a weird position. My opponent just played queen to e3. My bishop's cutting off the king from castling. And I'm up in development. So, but now I need to combine those things and convert it, which is not so easy. I mean, we can go for some centralizing knight move. Should I? Gotta think here. What is your next plan? What should I do here? So I just cut off the king from castling. Maybe I should use the time to activate my knight. I can also use that time to maybe pin here. What is the best plan for me? We could also attack. We can also attack the knight here. Push it back. The only reason why I don't like it so much is because it's pushing a pawn, opening up the sack. Okay, so they go here. We will always cut off the king. Because we have to. After this, maybe we'll give a check. We gotta develop. If they go here, I'm just gonna fork the pawn and the queen. So, there's a blunder. Because I win back, I win a no, I take. This is not. Oh, what? Do they have this? Oh, wait, no. I give an intermediate check. Wait. Wait, I blundered. And he missed it either. Oh my god. I blundered and he missed it. It's crazy. What should I play here? Yes, I think they had a move here. They could have attacked my bishop. Oh wait, no. I win the rook. Okay. It's not so good. Okay. I could try to vote the queen, maybe. This is a very tricky position, because even though I am a pawn, they have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. Maybe you should kick the knight out. It does open up a diagonal, and closes off my diagonal. So what should I play here? They always have this idea because of the pin. If I move my king to g8, then it's not active. So what should I play here? Can I afford to play this? I'm faced with like the dilemma here. Maybe I could go here, but then they just block with the bishop. Maybe I can give a check, but they're just gonna block. Yeah, it could be a decent plan actually. I don't know. What should we do? Maybe I should try to give a check that make their pieces retreat. And also, this idea isn't as effective anymore because my queen is not there, so there's no royal fort, so it's less effective. And then I go for a check, trying to make their pieces retreat. Yeah, you just wasted a tempo there, bro. It's essentially the whole idea. I make you waste a tempo. Pretty much it. I think I should try to put my rook on the c file so it'd be castle. It's not looking so good after bishop takes. Hmm. They do have compensation for the pawn though. That's for sure. But I'm also keeping their king in the center. If they castle now, things are not looking so good after bishop takes a2, and there's just gonna be way too much pressure. Open c file, the diagonal, the battery. It's not looking so good. So castling is not an option there. So what should we play now? Where should I put my king? Maybe I need to tuck the king into that square. So they go here. Their idea is to now castle. I can trade into an endgame. What are you gonna take with? I will take first. And then I will try to go into an endgame if they take. Okay? So they take with the queen. So now I could try to go here with an idea after takes, get back the pawn. Knight to g5 is nice. But it does open up the f file if they castle here. Need to find a good plan here. Can we take? Actually though. And then take. That looks nice. Let me calculate real quick. So if I take, this is winning because we pick up the rook and work with piece now. So getting a little nervous now. I just don't know if it's winning. What do they have? They're gonna castle. They're just up a piece. Maybe they can get some initiative. Let's go for it. So they're gonna castle. That's for sure. Gonna have to play this position where I'm not gonna trade off rooks. So if I do, I lose one of my back rank defenders. Can't say my position is completely winning because my king is not safe at all. So they do have some compensation for me winning a pawn and a piece. If they take, then now I like my position because after I win your rook, you're gonna be forced to block with the queen. I trade. We're in an endgame. I'm up a piece and a pawn. So taking is never the option. Never the good option here. Your best choice is the castle. At which point I'll have to find a different move. Play. And I am getting low on time here. So better speed up. Takes. What the heck? They trade into an endgame. That's a bad idea because I win back the pawn, bro. Okay. Now they have no compensation. They should have kept the queens. If they had kept the queens, at least they would have had some counterplay. Maybe I could have potentially won. I'm only gonna be playing. I'm gonna be playing another one after this. I can't even consider the previous game a real game because my opponent literally resigned for no reason. I don't know why. So I'm just gonna activate the king now. No counterplay. If you take, I take with the pawn. Don't want to activate the king while the rooks are still active. I can go check and win your rook. Don't pre-move it though, because they might. And there we go. We win it with a sniper. They resign last game. Before I analyze it. Alright, so I get the white pieces. I go e4. Is your opponent gonna play e5 again? So knight to f3. Are you gonna get a Petrov? Are you gonna get knight to c6? After which I'll go for the Scotch game. My opponent has a couple options here. Maybe they can go for a Philidor. They can play the pot. They can play this move. They can play that. They play takes. It's not a. I don't like this variation for black because it just lets me get some piece activity, but it's not completely losing. But I get the initiative, so I don't like it for the black pieces. As you can see, I'm already getting the fianchetto queenside castles, and I will use this. I will use this deep d5 square weakness if you ever play c5. c5 mistake weakens his pawn, just positionally bad for my opponent. I will go f3 now with an idea to score g4 because now we are declaring war because we're playing an opposite side castling game here. So my opponent sacrifices a pawn. Very, very interesting. So if I take, is that a good idea? Taking with the bishop, is that a good idea? I don't know. They always have some tactics here with pin. That's for sure. I think I'll just remove my king. Because they might have some tactics here. What if I just move my knight here? Take. Hmm. Playing an interesting game now. They take with the knight. A little inaccurate because my bishop comes to life here. I can play g4 now. I, they're letting me get my attack with tempo here. So, now let's think here. I think I'll play my bishop to d3 here. Offer an exchange. Bishops. So they go there preparing a discovery. So should I prophylactically move my queen out of the way? I think I should take first. There's no discovery tactics yet. After I move my queen, I'm supporting h4, h5. And h4, h5, h6, and my bishop comes to life if you do not take the pawn at all. So that's my idea. This is getting a little scary now. Let's attack. I'll always stick with the c pawn, that's for sure, if they ever take. Alright. It's just a matter of who attacks first at this point. We'll go here. If you go here, take. Um, Our queen holds. Now we are playing a tricky position here. I don't I don't know who's better here. I think my opponent might be better. But I need to hold that pawn here. So now we will think. So yeah, you have a queen side attack and a king side attack. I can take and open up the H line. Is that good? Can I take and open up the H line actually though? I gotta think here. Real hard. So I can try to sacrifice my pawn here. Can I take, and then go here? What's my pawn gonna do? If they go here, I win the bishop, so they can't escape. After takes, queen here. Why did you go here? Oh wait, I still remember. I do. I have to defend this. What do I do here? Oh, hmm. If I go here, they sack their bishop. Because after it takes, then they win back the bishop and the game. So, in a tricky spot here. What should I do? Should I open up the H line? I think I have to open up the H line. Try to get some counterplay. And they don't take, they go here. It's a nice move. But if I sack the exchange, I'm gonna try to go here, sack the exchange in the future. Having some potential threats on their king. We'll go here. I already have a quiet threat here, so I have a silent killer here. Can I take? What are you gonna do? Take. And then I move, and then they take. And in that variation. Oh no, their attack comes first. Okay, so if I take, they're actually gonna take with the queen. And then I have to take. And I lose the exchange. Hmm. Take here. What should I do? It's the only way to get the real counter. They're gonna take with the queen. I think they should take with the queen. Because I can't go for the sacrifice because they take with the queen and then I have to take and then they take with check. And I lose a rook. But honestly, I think I'm losing here. But if they take with the pawn, I might have counter chances. I might have counter attacking chances. Hopefully. Now I'm immediately starting this. So I'm immediately threatening to rook sack my opponent here. Wait, no, I'm not. Take, check, here, check, here, check. Oh wait, yeah, I meant, never mind. I think my opponent should go here, sack the pawn, and take. And then they're gonna have to counter attack? I don't know. I don't know what, I don't know if they played the correct move, to be honest. Because I'm immediately threatening a rook sack. So, we need to be careful here. Opponent's having a real think here. gonna show you what I was thinking in the analysis so it's easier. Because I don't want to just draw arrows here and to tell you to move. So I'm gonna show it in my analysis. Hmm. My opponent's going for a long think. So I'm threatening a rucksack. That's my only threat in the position. Oh no, they take this one. Um, Alright. Now what do I do? Hmm. So now what I take? I can go F4 though. Can I go F4? Could be some rucksack here. Hmm. I have to think here. Real hard. Can I go F4? F4, what is your resource? Well, I don't see any counter resources for my opponent. Oh, maybe rook, rook here, rook to D4. And after takes, you're gonna trade off queens. Be in a winning position. So that's your counter resource. Hmm. What should I do? Maybe after this, I just go here. No, they'll check. Might think what should be my only resort. Need to find a way here. Bishop takes, king takes, and there's nothing there. I mean, I could try to threaten here, maybe take. Could be interesting. I don't know. They just defend. Hmm. F4, rook E4. Then one. Oh, I can take with the rook? No, it doesn't work. Maybe after F4, rook E4, can I take with the rook here? Because if we take, I go do my rook side variation. You don't. Hmm. What have you? So if they take, I take. And, I don't know. It's unclear. If I go F4, whew, what should I do? I play queen to B2. Might be my only chance. F4 doesn't work because we rook D4. And you counterattack. We're looking at winning these kingside pawns and trying to counter. This is my only winning chance. Or even drawing. I don't know. Yeah, and draw. Well, this rook's in the pin, and this bishop's in the pin. Hey, I don't know, like, you have this. Take. No, it doesn't work. What should I do? You can just defend. Hmm. Gotta find a way to defend. We only 2 minutes left. Could be getting pretty tricky. And probably rook to e7. Oh, their idea is that after takes, I go here. What? Do I take the exchange? It might be my only move. Might be my only move. Think it's my only move. Yeah. Don't think too much. Think after you do. Because after takes, the rook holds this. Lucky for me. Totally for me. Oh, clever indeed. So I take the take. Huh. Hmm. So here, and they just take. Well, then they just move the queen. Yeah, resign. So let's analyze our games. How do I answer this? Analysis board. There is click on the profile. Rapid review games. So let's start with this one. This one was relatively simple, but definitely keeping in mind of this trap over here. So let's evaluate. So instead I should have just castled, and I'm better. But I took, which is not the correct option, d4, and then yeah, they had this queen takes option here, queen sack, and then after takes this move, and we would have been in an equal endgame after takes, and here e6 is the best continuation. I don't like a6. Maybe their idea is that after, I don't know, maybe we put the bishop on the long diagonal over here. Anyway, instead, my opponent goes here. They take like that. Oh, I missed that. After takes, there's this, and we're active in the position. That's a good idea. Keeping it in mind. Here I go for knight to b6 instead, the more passive option. And I put my bishop on d6 because if I would have played any other move, I did. Oh wait, it's not an immediate threat, but they're pressuring this pawn. So I go there to block it off. I put my bishop here because I don't want them to castle. You see, after the queen moves, the bishop blocks the square so the king can go through it and castle. So I go for knight to f5. My opponent goes for queen to e4. I simply put my bishop on a6, hiding it out over there. Here my opponent goes for c4. But apparently bishop takes was an option. What happens if queen takes? Rook here. Oh, that's a nice line. That's actually a good idea. Missed that. Keeping in mind for other openings, maybe when the C line is open. So one thing for sure. Instead I go for knight to d6. My opponent goes for queen to f3. I take the pawn. Knight to c3 split, and here I go for queen to a5. With an idea to put my queen on e5 to then give a check, force one of their pieces to retreat. And here they put their bishop here, so now this queen to a5 also comes in, and here either they waste the tempo with their bishop, move their knight, or move this knight, in which case takes. But apparently even queen to Queen to e4 is better because I'm up a pawn, and I should just simplify the endgame. So my opponent goes here, and I go for rook to c8, and here I have a little trap. If my opponent castles now, I go for bishop takes, and there's just too much pressure in the position. I take the a pawn, now I have the open a file. I also have the bishop aimed here, and it's actually not my king that's unsafe, it's your king. So, my opponent retreats the knight here, I take, he takes the queen, and here, rook takes c3. And I didn't even like my position. Instead, they should have just castled, in my opinion. And apparently, giving back the exchange, that's nice. What happens after takes, takes? I was actually thinking about giving back the exchange here, but usually when you just sack the rook to gain material, you don't want to give it back. Instead, after rook takes, my initial line was actually to go back here, and I don't. This is gonna be tough to defend. Maybe they have some compensation for lost material. You know, my king is a weakness, and if they would have offered a trade here with the rooks, I would have declined it. But apparently, the engine wants me to take. But that's the engine going for the most bot-like way. I like to go for more practical ways. Instead, he goes into an endgame, which is just inaccurate because I can just take, and then go here with check, win back my pawn. Here I take with the rook. My opponent goes here. Here I put my king on e8 with an idea to put my king maybe on c6, or just activating the king in general. My opponent goes for bishop to c5. I go king d7. My opponent goes a3 and immediately blunders rook d3 check. King e2, rook takes a1, and here my opponent resigns. So, on for the next game. Time to go over our lots and check how we should have defended. I think I let my opponent get the initiative. I think that's how I lost that one. So, apparently f4 is the better move. So in the opening, we get the exchanging variation. I go here, and I like to go for the system where I long castle with an, and I have pressure over this long diagonal. My opponent goes here, and the f4 is already a good move, but I go for f3. My opponent goes here, I go here, and here I should have just taken because there's not enough compensation here. Definitely keeping that in mind for my tournaments. It's a good one. So this pawn sacrifice doesn't work because there's not enough compensation because of this b pawn. Even after this, how do I defend here? a3, and I just put the bishop here and it can't get trapped. Even after c4, we will never trade after takes. Taking with the a pawn, it's ridiculous, but I would have taken with the c pawn. Anyway, instead, I played this move king to b1, and I went here, and took here, but I went here, and then this is a blunder, because bishop d3, my opponent goes e8, but I missed this one. Oh, yeah, it's completely winning. Because after rook moves, I just win the bishop with this. Oh, no. Oh, f4, and I'm in a better position. Instead, I trade and go here. My opponent gets the attack faster. Here, what better take with another in a winning position. What should I have played? I should have played this. This is a blunder because of this move, and then this is just completely losing. Oh, I should have played this. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Instead I played this. Oh yeah, because this move takes, I lose. Oh. And then ultimately, let me show you why the rook sack wasn't working over here. Because if I would have taken... Oh wait. Alright, yeah, here. Because if I would have taken here, first, well, they can just take. Second, even if I do get that, if they take, it's just a blunder, actually. Never mind. This is my whole idea. But the reason why I didn't want to play it, let me just back up here, was because of this variation. Take, take, would have had to move the king, and I would just lose the rook here. This is completely losing. Definitely some mistakes learned from this game, and then bishop to f6 is a winning move. And after this, they would just move the queen and one mine. So, that's the end of the video. Bye.